I woke up this morning holding a tooth in my hand. That would have been weird enough on its own, except all of my teeth were still in my mouth. I stared at the small, white enamel piece, its edges jagged like it had been forcibly removed. My stomach turned. I ran to the bathroom mirror, clutching the tooth like it would somehow explain itself. My reflection smiled back at me, but it wasn't a smile I recognized. There was a slight crookedness to my grin, a tension in my jaw that I hadn't consciously made. And then I realized the tooth in my hand didn't match any gap in my mouth. Every single one of my teeth was accounted for. I dropped the tooth in the sink, but it rolled across the porcelain and stopped at the drain. I leaned in closer, and I could have sworn I saw movement inside it. A tiny, shadowy shape that looked like a tooth-shaped worm wriggling inside the enamel. I blinked, shook my head, and backed away. Maybe I was hallucinating. I didn't sleep well the night before. Maybe it was a dream. But then, last night was normal, or so I thought. I went to bed around midnight. I brushed my teeth, took my medications, and set my alarm for 6:30 a.m. I had no recollection of any teeth being loose. I'm in my 20s, healthy, and I've never had major dental problems. I tried to shrug it off. Maybe I had pulled it subconsciously in my sleep. I washed my hands and prepared coffee, trying to ignore the feeling of something crawling beneath my skin. That morning, everything seemed normal. At least until I opened my laptop. There, on my desk, was another tooth. Larger this time. Slightly yellowed, with a thin thread of something red at the base. My heart skipped a beat. I had thrown away the first tooth. I hadn't seen this one until now. I looked around the apartment. Doors locked. Windows closed. I live alone. There was no one here. And yet, the teeth, they were appearing. One by one. In places I hadn't been, on the couch, inside the coffee mug, even on my pillow. I called my dentist. He laughed. Teeth falling out in your 20s without trauma? That doesn't happen, he said. Are you under stress? Medications? Anything else unusual? I told him nothing, but I didn't mention the teeth on my pillow. He recommended an X-ray, a checkup. I agreed, but a part of me didn't want to go. That night, I set up my camera to record the bedroom. I placed it facing the bed, the nightstand, and the floor. If someone was sneaking in, I wanted evidence. Around 2:17 a.m., I woke up to a whisper. Not loud, just a low hum, like a vibration in my skull. I sat up and turned toward the source. My teeth clenched instinctively. The whisper repeated, "Open your mouth." My pulse skyrocketed. I couldn't move. The whisper grew louder, layered, almost coming from all directions. I shone a flashlight around the room. The beam caught nothing. But then I saw the reflection in the mirror, my own face smiling. A perfect, wide smile, but the teeth weren't mine. Some were jagged, some blackened, and some seemed too long, like tiny daggers. I backed away, tripped over the blanket, and landed on my hands and knees. When I looked up, the mirror was empty. The whispering stopped. Silence. Only my own ragged breathing remained. The next morning, I checked the camera. I saw myself asleep, then a shadow moving across the room. I couldn't make out a form, but it bent toward my face, then recoiled. And then, the camera caught it, my mouth opening slowly, teeth falling out on their own, one by one, onto the pillow. I blinked, frozen. The last frame showed a small figure, crouched in the corner, picking up a tooth and smiling at the camera. I don't know what to do. I can't sleep properly. Every time I close my eyes, I feel the sensation of teeth loosening in my mouth. And at night, I swear I hear them clicking together, softly, like a private rhythm in the dark. I've started keeping the lights on. I check the corners of every room before going to bed. I even sleep in my clothes, ready to flee if necessary. But the teeth, they keep coming. They're appearing in places I haven't been, places I would never touch. And last night, I woke up to find them all arranged on the floor, spelling something. I can't read it entirely, but I know it's a message. Something meant for me. Something that promises more. I don't know if I can last much longer. My reflection has started smiling when I'm not smiling. My teeth feel loose even though they're all intact. And the whisper, it comes every night, soft, patient, insistent. Open your mouth.